Oh wow, I think this is actually working. I'm so excited. I posted a video yesterday and I got a Blue Yeti microphone for my podcast and oh, it did not work. I was there making all sorts of great facial expressions and no sound. So I'm back and I thought I'd give it another try. I'm really excited about this opportunity that Zubia has afforded all of us who are professional or chronic illness bloggers. I also run a chronic illness podcast. So I thought I'd start with an introduction and really bad hair. Although it's better than it was because my daughter actually brushed it for me today. So yay, baby. Thank goodness she's around to make sure that I don't totally humiliate myself on air. So I'm Monica Michelle. I run Invisible Not Broken, which is a podcast for chronic illness full of snarkiness and really good information. About me. So I'm in my 40s, which has been very interesting. I thought my 40s were going to look a whole lot different. I was pretty sure I'd be kind of at the top of my game with my business that I was running. I did not expect that after doing an interview this morning, and by interview, I mean sitting in a chair and just talking to someone, I'd be so exhausted that I would barely make it to bed to fall in for a few minutes of just being unconscious. This is not what I had expected. Or as my friend Lauren Selfridge would say with her podcast, this is not what I ordered. I did not sign up for this. What did I not sign up for? I have Ehlers Danlos. I have fibromyalgia. I have mast cell activation. I have POTS. I believe that, mitral valve prolapse. I think that pretty much covers it. Like most Spanies, I have an incredible array, a phone book, if you will, of diagnoses. So what kind of led me to all of this is that I was just told I had fibromyalgia. I'm sorry, if you are dealing with fibromyalgia, I bow down. This sucks. The widespread body aches and pain sucks. It's hard. It's awful. I will do my best not to swear. If you listen to my podcast, you know that swearing is kind of my second nature. I will do really well on this. I promise, Zubia. But I wasn't following the protocols. So another 10 years of doctors and being poked and prodded, and like the wonderful person I just interviewed today, I will say medical PTSD. It was brutal, and being told I was crazy over and over and over again. Not that they're wrong. I just wasn't crazy about my symptoms. Those were all honest and real. And I guess you can kind of see just how real those are. So I have swan deformation in my hands. Once I finally found someone who had actually heard of Ehlers-Danlos, it was a pretty fast diagnosis. It was one doctor's visit where it was just like, let me look at all the surgeries you've had. Oh, wow. And you're doing that weird thing with your hands and your legs go. Let's do the Brighton score real quick. So that's where I'm at. That's who I am. I am a mom. I've got two amazing children who are now preteen and teenager. It's kind of crazy. And I will be talking a lot about that. My kids are wonderful and fantastic. Being a chronically ill mom has challenges for all of us. It's definitely not easy on my children for them to have such a sick mom. And it's been mildly heartbreaking for me to not be the mom that I had envisioned myself being. And it's required a lot of compromise and creative thinking on both sides on how to be a family with a member who can't always get out of bed. And by can't always, I mean there are months, weeks, days that I cannot leave my bed. We have had to cancel family stuff that we were super excited about because I would suddenly get sick. And this leads me to my other thing. We have a suburban small farm. And by that, I mean lots of animals. And one of our animals is our guard dog, who will never be a helper dog because he's the exact opposite of helping. He is a giant shepherd. And we could be leaving for grocery shopping for a family thing on one of my good days. And my giant beast of a dog will think he's going for a walk and knock me over, or even just nudge my leg. And my femur takes nothing for my femur or my tibia to dislocate. And that's it. We got to go back to we're staying home today. Also, I'm going to talk a lot about being a wife of an amazing man. He's my best friend. He's fantastic. Now, that does not mean we don't have our issues and our problems. Being married to someone who's sick is frustrating and exhausting, and he does not have a lot of people he can talk to about that. We try to be really open with our frustrations. He's also willing to do anything to help, but that also has its problems that I feel guilty asking, and I can sometimes push myself way too far to make sure he doesn't have to. And so we're going to be talking about things like that. Also, I'll be doing an episode hopefully really soon about how to have a date night from home, even from bed. And not that kind, I swear it's not gonna be that kind of video. I'm just gonna talk about some ways that you can still make sure that you have a really kind of fun and playful relationship, even if you can't really get out of the house. So we can't go out to dinner. I can't really leave the house after a certain point. I have the witching hour, which is usually 3 p.m. My witching hour today started much earlier. I started dislocating my shoulder at about 9 o'clock this morning. So that's been kind of brutal. We will talk about a whole bunch of things. I will try not to be nearly as contentious as I am in my podcast. If you want to hear me be contentious and really snarky, you can always head over to Invisible Not Broken. Happy to fulfill all of your snarkiness needs. So thank you so much. And I hope you tune in to hear some of I'm doing the podcast with my co-host. You'll be hearing me talk about some other really interesting and cool things and ways to handle being chronically ill when you are still needed by others.